The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets just upset Florida State. The reason why I don't have a reaction like most people have, as I'm just not looking at it. The game is over. They're doing the trophy presentation and everything. But guys, okay, 21-24. They just defeated them 21-24, right? And of course, I'm still looking. DJU, I love DJU, right? Florida State, he transferred right from Oregon State. I thought he was gonna go to the draft, but no, he transferred again. DJU 19 for 27, 193 yards passing. That's good. That's good. Fine, right? But he didn't do enough for me. He didn't sell me on what Florida State could be this year, right? Now, I'm not going to say that this loss determines where Florida State is going to be ranked in the ACC or college football in general, but top 10 team being knocked down this early, red flags are across the board for me. And I'm sure a lot of other analysts as well and anchors around the sports world in terms of college football. Like, I have a lot of takeaways from this game for Georgia Tech. You've seen the defense. I want to start with the defense first. Matter of fact, no, I want to start with the offense. The offense, they did absolutely terrific. I really do feel as if Georgia Tech is a sleeper team. And Haynes King, to me, is a guy that we could see pop off and be a top 10 quarterback, top 15 quarterback in college football this year because of the support system around him, what he's been exposed to. Um, not necessarily a new coaching staff, but the second full year for Georgia Tech's head coach. So for them, this is like the year now that we have to turn it up. This is the breakout season, right, for Georgia Tech. This is the year that I expect them to go to the ACC title game and win it. I do. Miami is all right. They're fine. Florida State, they choke, but they're good. They're going to bounce back. Duke, I doubt is going to be competitive this year. You have a lot of other teams in the ACC that you can put in this round that's like, okay, they could go up against them. They could beat them, right? Of course, with the Pac-12 being defunct, a lot of teams were being shifted around and moved to different conferences. So every conference has a new team, right? So with that being said, my prediction for Georgia Tech is that they go to the ACC title game and they win it. I believe that they're going to be the ACC champions this year. I don't have any biasness towards Georgia Tech. A little bit probably because that was the first college football team that I loved and grew up watching. So the biasness doesn't come from being young. The biasness comes from what I know about their college, not only about their college, but their athletics and their football team, their PR team, what this year means for Georgia Tech, especially in a weak ACC now. Yes, I said a weak ACC. Don't give me the Florida State talk. Don't give me the Miami talk. Don't give me the North Carolina talk. I don't want to hear it. UNC is not going to be competitive this year in football. Duke, no. Miami and Florida State are the only teams that are going to give them a run for their money. I will almost make that clear as day. Clear as day. And if you really want to be frank, you have teams that could top them, right? You have teams that could come beat Georgia Tech, such as a SMU, or a Boston College. But I don't think Boston College is going to be competitive. Or what's another team I'm thinking about? Syracuse, maybe. I don't really think so. I mean, Clemson, yes. Clemson needs to. They got to win something. Clemson has to win something in order to get back to where Clemson is, right? As a top program, not only in the ACC but in college football. I think that's Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech is the new ACC. They're the new Clemson. They are what we did not. Well, most people didn't think they were good, this good, but in the words of a famous coach, they are who we thought they were. Florida State. We are who they thought they were. So, besides that, I want to get to the defense, and I want to get to LaMiles Brooks. LaMiles Brooks, defensive back, safety primarily for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. This kid right here is a baller, shot caller. I think the way he plays, the way he leads this defense, I see him on the field as the undisputed leader of this team. I don't think anybody else is on this team that I can see as the primary leader. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Stats last year were gradually better, gradually growing, right? He said last year in a statement that this was a down season for them and they expect next year to take that jump. Well, this jump has already been taken a leap further by you beating Florida State. So the jump, we're already starting to see the jump. We're already starting to see the refurbished defense, the new play calling, all of that. LaMiles Brooks has a lot to do with that, right? He is the leader of that secondary. You see number one come across that secondary. Yes, I know he changed his number from 20 to 1. That's why I said number one. If you see number one that secondary with those dreads coming, I'm telling you, that kid right there, he coming to knock your head off. Okay, and he can tackle. He can tackle. I would even put him in the top 5, top 7, maybe even top 10 DBs in the ACC. There is nobody else that I think that plays the safety position better than LaMiles Brooks in the ACC. Please give me somebody different because you see what if you just look at the film or just look at him play. This kid, this cat is just amazing. And the reason why I say that he goes in the first round, forget about stats. Look at what he can do for your team. His personality is good off the field. He can talk intelligent. Gets his work done in the classroom. Um, Organizational involvement, so on and so on. This kid, he does it, right? And I'm not just harping on what I've seen, I'm harping on what I know. Okay, so LaMiles Brooks being a first round pick should be in consideration. Yes, at the very least, he'll go in the second and third rounds. Fine, right? But if you're looking for a defensive back, somebody that's going to be like a Brian Branch type, right? Or not even a Brian Branch, but more so, dare I say, Cam Chancellor. That's LaMiles Brooks to me. He is a Cam Chancellor with tackling skills, right? He gonna knock your head off, not all the time, but in terms of tackling, he tackles. He tackles. He tackles. Just look at the film. I don't even have to say any more or less. Just look at the film to see what this cat can do. If he does declare for the draft next year, he'll be invited to the combine. I will be surprised if he doesn't get an invite, right? If he does get invited to the combine, he is going to light it up because defensively, offensively, he's a different beast. Defensively, my apologies. He's a different beast. A different beast, right? And what I mean by different beast is um it's hard to put into words because I just said Cam Chancellor and that's his comparison to me, but it's hard to put into words when you see somebody's impact on the field and how their teammates gravitate towards them so much as the leader of the defense, especially the secondary. So to see where Georgia Tech is this year, I have them as the ACC champions. I don't see anybody else beating them besides maybe Florida State if they want their revenge. I mean, like I said, we are who they thought they were, Florida State. So keep in mind, Georgia Tech, they're coming. They're coming. Okay. So I need y'all to buckle down on the ACC because the ACC is coming. Yes, we can talk about the SEC. And that's fine. We can talk about the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. That's fine. But the ACC is coming to take their spot back as the best division in college football. I need you guys to understand where I'm coming from when I say this. Georgia Tech is going to be on top of the ACC, and they will win the ACC national championship. Not Clemson, not Duke, not Florida State, GT.